Good afternoon. We're back with more DC Dual Force. Today we'll be playing one of my favorite off-meta decks, which is Superman and Lex Luthor. Let's see if I want to make any changes. Looks pretty good. 18, 12, 10. I've usually been running 16 bronze lately. I'm going to run 18 though, that's fine. So we're beginning of the day, rank 22. And we'll see how it goes. We're still in the Flashpoint meta, unfortunately. The expected balance patch has been delayed until the 10th of October. It's currently the 7th. So, we still have the usual suspects when it comes to the meta, unfortunately. The balance patches that I am hoping to see. Hoping to see Ivy's Flytrap get nerfed from 6 health to 4. Hoping for a Hellblaze nerf from 4 damage to 3. It's been confirmed that there will be a Hellblaze nerf, though I don't think it's been confirmed what the nerf will be. Hoping to see the lightning bolts get nerfed in some way. My personal preference would be to see them get nerfed from 2 damage to 1 to 2 damage. Similar to the way the magical spell that comes from Zatanna does 1 to 5 damage. I would like to see them get nerfed to 1 to 2 damage, which would be effectively a nerf of half a damage on average.
Never stop fighting.
And if Ivy's Flytrap were nerfed and the lightning bolts were nerfed, I really don't think you'd need to touch Flashpoint. I'm hard pressed to find a way that they could nerf Flashpoint that would make sense without completely redesigning it. I guess the only thing they could do is remove the drawn card from Flashpoint, so it could say just replace your hand, don't draw an extra card. Essentially it would cost you a card to do that. Or they could nerf it to silver. It currently costs bronze resource, they could nerf it to silver, I suppose. But I think if they got Hellblaze and the lightning bolts, then they wouldn't really need to touch Flashpoint. And I think Ivy's Flytrap has to go to 4 health. It's basically just an I win card right now when it's played on turn 1. And that's not a good spot to be in. Now, 2 Loises and no shield cards is not great. I'll use it to draw cards with Lex Luthor if he's still alive after this turn. Facing a brain dead deck, and there's nothing we can really do about it except hope that you win the coin flip. Okay, well, we can delay Doomsday. I have to use Lex Luthor offensively. There's no way around that, I don't think.
Time for a hostile takeover.
Lois is just going to absorb 2 damage here. Said this many times, but I do not respect Flash Doomsday players. I have no issue with players wanting to play a rush deck. Part of the reason I don't respect Flash Doomsday is because it's not a particularly good rush deck. There are better options available. Batman Doomsday, for example, is better in almost every way. At least in my opinion. And Flash Doomsday is just equivalent to flipping a coin and hoping it lands heads. And the reason people climb with it is because it plays fast games, and winning 50% is fine when you're climbing because you win 2 hexagons or whatever they are for a win, and you lose 1 for a loss. So anything over 33% is okay. So people play Flash Doomsday because they don't want to think, and because they don't care if their win rate is very good. And that's kind of the antithesis of what I play card games for, so that's why I don't like the deck or respect the players who play it. I do respect players who are looking for the best possible rush deck that they can find. That is not Flash Doomsday. It's the rush deck that requires the least thinking. The others that are available require more thought in the deck building. Like Harley decks are not easy to make deck building wise. I've discovered that they're different than other types of decks. Batman Doomsday requires more thought. Flash Doomsday is just the lowest common denominator. Probably could have charged Lex Luthor here, since I'm going to be using Lois to charge Superman next round.
I'll never stop fighting.
I tried that card out a little bit. I think it's not that good. But I expect I'll see it a little bit while players try it out.
May the gods grant us their favor.
Do we play Lois here? I think we do. We do the same thing as last round. Draw again, charge Superman again, because it's a removal of a 7/4. It seems like he's designed a good Harley deck, or else he's gotten a good draw because he was able to empty out his hand pretty early. That means either a low amount of gold cards, which is, in my opinion, the correct way to go, or he's just drawing really well. That must be a gold card. So he did get the 50-50 twice. If either of those Cupids had gone on Lex Luthor, he would not have been able to KO Superman. That's alright. We're gonna draw here.
Time for a hostile takeover.
We've got to match Harley's draws. And he has to trade both these guys into Gorilla Grodd, and it's a little bit inefficient, so I'm not too worried about leaving Cupid up. Though I could regret that, based on, depending on what he draws. Is he gonna make the trade? Nope, he doesn't want to. So with Ladama in hand and Wonder Woman, now we're just gonna take control of the situation. And use Lex Luthor on Steel.
May the gods grant us their favor.
And next turn we'll have Ladama. Should be able to KO one hero at least. Okay. In my opinion, I've said this before. If you're facing Lex Luthor, always kill Lex Luthor first. That's my personal rule. I don't know if the game would have gone any different if he had focused fire on Lex Luthor, but that is my personal rule. That player I've played before, he's a very good player. I'm sure he had a plan. But since I've mentioned it before, I will mention that. Always clear Lex Luthor first. Because he can 2v1 in the late game. Or 1v2, I mean. That's happened to me before a few times playing against him. not that many ways to take out Clark Kent and Shazam Poison Ivy. Deimos is one of them. See if he's got it. Ambush Bug is another.
Time to start branching out.
I don't really mind that card if it's Ivy's Flytrap that's the real killer, but I suppose they could make it so it draws one less card. That would probably be a sufficient nerf if they do want to hit it. I've said that a Flashpoint nerf is coming. There's the card that really needs a nerf. That should be 4 health, in my opinion. Gonna slow down Shazam here. It's gotta go to 4 health. 6 is just way too strong. The Riddler serves a similar function in generating value. It only has 4 health and it's an infinite card. 6 stats in total. Flytrap should not have the same stats as not an infinite ultimate card. Alrighty. Oh, I want to do that. Do this.
I'll never stop fighting.
That card is not what I'm looking for here. Let's do this. Let's Nissa.
Time for a hostile takeover.
And then Yara. We're in a precarious spot because he's undoubtedly running direct damage. Hellblaze, Lightning Arc, just hoping he doesn't draw it. Surprised he didn't trade both into Yara. Oh, I guess he wanted to take out the Riddler. Makes sense. So we get Culling. Use Lex on Solstice. Play Carapax. Or Friends in High Places for a gold card. Kill Solstice. Trade. I think I like that a little better. Well, but then the Brainiac will trade into Yara. Let's go ahead and Culling. Some of my cards are now useless, like Superman Robot.
Time for a hostile
In my opinion, Appetite for Conquest should say +1, -1, but minimum 1, so that it doesn't make some cards just unplayable. That might be a little harder to code, but it should probably say minimum 1. I don't mind the +1, -1 thing, but the minimum 1 kind of feels bad because, yeah, like this card just can't be played now. Doesn't do anything. Okay, I don't think we can win. Let's see, I've played 1 gold card, so if I found Ladama, it wouldn't... No, I've played 2, so let's see if I can find Ladama. And then we'll use Superman.
I'll never stop fighting.
Use Carapax. And we'll see. Friends in High Places probably needs a nerf, to be honest. It should probably only find a silver card. I think it's too good as it is. It's had a huge impact on this game with both the Shazam and the Ladama. In each case, it's been a huge swing. That's surprising that he used it on Yara. Does he have a lightning arc? Was he hoping to draw one? Okay, he found a lightning arc. So that's game. I think we were close to stabilizing, but he managed to top deck the direct damage that I mentioned I was worried about. I'll be glad to see that deck go away when it gets nerfed. It's one reason why I don't want to put any time into playing it. I don't really like to play decks that I know are getting nerfed. Because I'm always looking to the future, like what's going to be good. Doesn't really help me knowing that something is good now but isn't going to be in 3 days or so. This is a unique combo. So in that last game, he had to find a lightning arc and a lightning bolt in order to make that play work. It's a bit frustrating. I think I played that game fairly well, but he got bailed out by draws at the end. Probably, I may have to use Steve Trevor to deal with that. Let's see what else he had. Oh, okay. I'm really happy he didn't defend the Chase-Along with Simon Baz, because I might have been in trouble if he had. I do think I want to get the buff on this stuff, so I'm gonna trade there.
I'll never stop fighting.
Just a 4/4 at the moment. I think I still play it. Gonna be drawing with Lex starting next round.
Charge.
So I don't really want Lex Luthor killing that. If he wants to play something else and kill it, okay. So next turn we'll stop the bleeding with Superman. And we also have Superman and Lex Luthor. Should be a pretty strong turn. We'll see what we can do. Let's see here. Let's do this.
Time for a hostile takeover.
Jeez. Appetite for conquest. I mean, should it do that? Doesn't it say... Does it say do that to cards everywhere?
I'll never stop fighting.
I actually don't know. So I actually forgot about that. The tidal wave dying. I could have KO'd Lex Luthor there. If I had used my Lex Luthor on the Star Girl, and then I could have saved Superman, so I definitely should have done that. I just forgot that the tidal wave gets summoned with 0 HP because of the appetite. Which, I don't know. Should it do that? Okay.
Time for a hostile takeover.
I don't know that I play Deimos here. I don't think it's got enough value as a 1-2 to play it. So personally, I would like to see Appetite for Conquest A, have a minimum of 1, so it doesn't make cards useless, and B, only work, it should say cards in your hand or your deck, or on board, so that it doesn't affect summoned creatures like Ivy's Vines, and it doesn't affect summons like the Tidal Wave. Would be my preference for that card. That would require a lot of additional coding though, so it's probably not going to happen. That's very greedy. Now it dies to Superman. Unless he's got a way to buff it, I don't think that was the right play. So now he's dead. Was he dead before? Maybe he was dead in any case, I'm not sure. So let's see, if he traded Hal Jordan and then played Necron in front, he was not dead.
I'll never stop fighting.
Yeah, he was not dead at all if he played Necron in front after trading in Hal Jordan. Interesting. In fact, I think I would lose if he'd made that play. So I couldn't have killed the Necron. Could I? 9. No, I could. I could kill the Necron. I'd have to trade in Mira, which is fine. Wonder Woman would have lived with 1 HP. But he would have been alive. Probably would have played my own Necron or maybe Lex Luthor. The Culling versus Aquaman Batman. I do think I keep it. Don't want to just play nothing until the Culling turn because I got to keep the damage on Luthor manageable. Okay, he didn't have anything. So Culling isn't going to be real high value here. No reason to do anything here. Save Nissa for Lex Luthor fodder.
I still have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Sorry about the cut there. And I wish I had another Deimos. I think I just stall. Make sure he can't go face. He may have a battering in hand.
I will turn the tide.
I was hoping for one with 4 or less.
I still have a few tricks up my sleeve. Time for a hostile takeover. I'll never stop fighting.
Got a culling first. So we got good long-term value. We just got to get to the long term.
I will turn the tide.
Come on, 4 or less. No.
I still have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Brutal.
Time for a hostile takeover.
Superman's gonna die. Need to survive 2 turns and then I'll win, but I don't know that I will survive 2 turns. Yikes.
I still have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Okay. Now I can't win because he'll have the 10 damage plus this. So I think it's like 2 and 3 right now. It's basically breaking even, or maybe small profit because of the 2 for a win and 1 for a loss. But I don't think we've been running well. I think the opponents we played against have run really well, though. This isn't like an amazing deck, but it is above a 50% winner in the long run. At least in my opinion. We needed just one more turn there and we would have been fine. So his deck was just a turn or two too fast to deal with. I always go for Superman first. That is not the more threatening of the two heroes. No reason to use Superman on a 2 health guy. Interesting. Like it to take 2 shots from the Joker. Oh, I think either way Lois is dead, so whatever. He's got attacks, he's got Joker hero power. Lois is dead. I don't have any more shields anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Probably should have saved Clark to sacrifice to Luthor. So he'll clear the board. Next turn I'll clear the board with the culling. That's a great draw.
Time for a hostile takeover. I'll never stop fighting.
Might be able to KO the Joker next round. Yep. Okay. What? What just happened?
Time for a hostile takeover.
It's a strange bug.
I'll never stop fighting.
Okay. I guess Wonder Woman is there. I hope. Can't select her. What the heck, man? Why? I think it's fine, but why? Does that mean my opponent can't select it either? No, he can. Okay, well, we missed 6 damage, but that seems to be the only consequence. Anton is a 10-10 here. I think the play is just Necron and Anton. Superman first.
Never stop fighting.
And Lex Luthor to get the maximum damage. Darkseid was perfectly fine there as well. This gets more power on the board. Okay. Wonder Woman decks are usually pretty aggressive. I'll keep the culling. Feels like I rarely regret keeping the culling, but sometimes regret not keeping it.
May the gods grant us their favor.
So, one way to play this would be just to do nothing and then culling next round. The whole idea of the culling is to generate value, though. You're killing multiple cards of theirs with just one of your cards. Riddler is another play that generates value because he generates a card and kills one of their cards, or at least requires them to attack. So I'm choosing this play as the more aggressive way to generate value over the more passive way of waiting and then using the culling. I don't know that it's the correct thing to do. Did he drop Paco? No. Interesting. So let's go Steve Trevor. So we know we're going to Superman this. We can do that before sacrificing Nissa to get a little bit of extra damage on back roll.
Time for a hostile takeover.
That's a good draw. Lex isn't going to live for that long. We just want him to generate value. And then we'll use his hero power offensively when it looks like he's going to die. Echo? Nope. Gotten good value out of those Brendas. Usually when you draw two Brendas relatively close together, you do not get good value out of at least one of them.
May the gods grant us their favor.
You don't stand a chance.
Okay, now is the spot for the culling. And that means that we can Nissa, use Lex. Do I need to? I have 2 copies of Lex in hand. I think I can use him offensively here. Well, it's a gold turn next. We'll see what he plays on his gold turn. So if he wants to play Superman or something like that, he can't really.
May the gods grant us their favor.
Okay, so now we'll go Superboy, Wonder Woman. We'll use Lex.
Time for a hostile takeover.
Next turn, probably Wonder Woman again right there. Here goes Strange on Batgirl. Don't care if Lex dies now. Don't know that Nissa necessarily should buff the cards that come out of your hand after You draw them? Should definitely buff any cards that are in your hand when she ties, but I'm not sure if she should buff the draws as well. Okay, so he only had low value plays. He forgot to attack with his Hippolyta. I want to get back roll first. He's not drawing very well because he only had bronze cards to play. That's a good draw, but it's too late.
May the gods grant us their favor.
That's a good draw. But it would have been fine to just throw away Wonder Woman and play Lex Luthor as well. Arguably even better.
I'll never stop fighting.
Well, I still can do that, and I will. Okay. So overall, 4 and 3. It's what I expected. It's not a phenomenal deck, but it's above average. Sorry about the cut there. Nothing was missed. He did immediately concede after I played Lex Luthor. So overall, 4 and 3. About what I expected. It is not a phenomenal deck, but it's a solid winner, and it has been every time I've played it in any patch. And we're now into the Platinum tier, which is good. That's all for this session, and thank you for watching.